Most hybrid SUVs have a hidden expiration date. It is not printed in the owner's manual. The salesperson will never mention it. But after 22 years as a mechanic, I see the same pattern play out week after week. A hybrid SUV rolls into the shop at 80,000 miles. The owner thought they bought the future. What they actually bought was a turbocharged engine running at 90% of its design capacity, bolted to a transmission that was borrowed from a sports car gearbox and asked to do a job it was never built for. The repair estimate? $3,000 to $5,000. The look on their face? The same every time. Shock, disbelief, and the question that always follows, why did nobody warn me? Today, I am going to warn you. But more importantly, I am going to show you the 5 hybrid SUVs that do not follow this pattern.
5 vehicles with powertrains so well engineered that they almost never come back to the shop for anything beyond oil changes and brake pads. 5 vehicles where the word hybrid actually means what it is supposed to mean. A smarter, more efficient, more durable way to drive. I have been a mechanic for 22 years. I have worked on thousands of vehicles from every major brand, and the 5 SUVs on this list are the ones I see the least for unscheduled repairs. That is the highest compliment a mechanic can give. When a vehicle never comes back, it means the engineering did its job so well that I did not have to. Stay with me, because the vehicle at number 1 has a transmission with essentially 0 wear items. It has been running in millions of vehicles for 28 years, and I have never, in over 2 decades, replaced one. Let us get into it. Before I reveal the list, you need to understand the 3 mechanical reasons that kill hybrid SUVs, because the 5 vehicles on my list avoid all 3, and that is not a coincidence. It is engineering. Failure pattern number 1. Downsized turbocharged engines. Manufacturers are putting 1.2 to 1.5 litre turbocharged engines in SUVs that weigh over 4,000 pounds. These tiny engines are running at 85 to 95% of their maximum capacity just to keep up with traffic. The turbo generates extreme heat, the oil degrades twice as fast, the seals and gaskets cook, and the direct injection creates carbon buildup that chokes the engine over time. A turbo replacement alone costs $3,000 to $6,000. None of the 5 vehicles on my list use a turbocharged engine. 0. Failure pattern number 2. Belt-driven CVT transmissions. A continuously variable transmission uses a steel belt running between 2 pulleys. The belt wears under load, the pulleys degrade over time. At high mileage, the belt slips, the transmission shudders, and the repair is a full replacement at $3,000 to $5,000. 2 of the 5 vehicles on my list eliminated the transmission entirely. The other 3 use planetary gears or conventional automatics that have been proven for decades. Failure pattern number 3. First-year redesign syndrome. When a manufacturer completely redesigns a vehicle, the first model year is a public beta test. New platforms, new engines, new transmissions, new electronics, all introduced simultaneously. Consumer Reports data consistently shows that first-year redesigns have worse reliability than carryover models. Every vehicle on my list either uses a carryover platform that has been refined over multiple years, or uses proven technology borrowed from a parent brand with decades of data behind it. These 3 patterns kill the majority of hybrid SUVs on the market. The 5 on my list avoid all 3. That is not luck. That is engineering discipline. Here is the list, from number 5 to number 1.
Number 5. The Kia Sportage Hybrid 2026. And I know what you are thinking. Kia, on a list of vehicles that never break down. But hear me out, because Kia's strategy in 2026 is fundamentally different from the brands I just warned you about, and the numbers back it up. The Sportage Hybrid uses a 1.6-litre turbocharged engine paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission and an integrated electric motor. Combined output is 232 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque. Yes, it has a turbocharger, and yes, I just told you turbochargers kill hybrid SUVs. So why is this one on the list? Because Kia does something that none of the failing brands do. They back it with the most aggressive warranty in the industry. 10 years.
100,000 miles on the powertrain. And for 2026, Kia added a lifetime hybrid battery warranty for the original owner, covering the battery, the starter generator, and the power control unit. That is not a marketing gimmick. That is Kia putting real corporate money on the table and saying, if this turbo fails, if this transmission has a problem, if the hybrid system gives you any trouble within 100,000 miles, we pay, not you. The difference between Kia's turbo and the turbos that fail is not just the warranty, it is the transmission. The Sportage uses a conventional 6-speed automatic with real gears and a torque converter, not a CVT, not a dual clutch. A real gearbox with decades of proven engineering behind the design. The 6-speed handles the torque from both the turbo engine and the electric motor through a well-understood mechanical architecture that does not overheat, does not shudder, and does not fail in the ways that more exotic transmissions do. In the shop, I am seeing Sportage hybrids come in for oil changes and routine services. The turbo demands disciplined oil changes. I cannot stress this enough. If you buy this vehicle, change the oil every 5,000 miles with full synthetic. Do not stretch it. Do not use cheap filters. The turbo's health depends entirely on oil quality. But if you maintain it properly, the Sportage hybrid is proving to be remarkably durable. The interior is excellent. 41.3 inches of rear legroom, more than the RAV4 and the CR-V. 39.5 cubic feet of cargo behind the rear seats. A standard 12.3-inch touchscreen with the blind spot view monitor that projects a live camera feed into the instrument cluster when you signal. This feature alone is a safety advantage that no other vehicle on this list offers, starting at approximately $30,500. That makes it the most affordable hybrid SUV on this entire list. The turbo requires discipline. The premium fuel recommendation adds cost. The resale value trails Toyota by a meaningful margin. But the warranty absorbs the mechanical risk, the transmission is proven, and the price-to-value ratio is the best of the 5. That is why the Sportage hybrid earns the number 5 spot on a mechanic's secret list.
Number 4. The Hyundai Tucson Hybrid 2026. Corporate sibling of the Sportage. Same turbo engine, same 6-speed automatic, same warranty. So why is it 1 spot higher on the list? Because the Tucson Hybrid adds something the Sportage does not. The most advanced battery thermal management system of any non-Toyota hybrid in this segment. And thermal management is the invisible factor that determines whether a hybrid battery lasts 8 years or 15. Every hybrid battery degrades over time. That is chemistry. Lithium-ion cells lose capacity with every charge and discharge cycle. But the rate of that degradation is heavily influenced by temperature. A battery that operates between 60 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit degrades slowly and predictably.
A battery that is regularly exposed to extreme heat or extreme cold degrades dramatically faster. Hyundai's active liquid cooling system for the Tucson Hybrid's battery maintains temperature within optimal ranges more consistently than passive air-cooled systems. In desert states where summer temperatures hit 115 degrees, this difference matters. In northern states where winter temperatures drop below zero, this difference matters. And over a 10-year ownership period, this thermal management translates directly into retained battery capacity, which translates into retained fuel economy, which translates into retained resale value. The Tucson Hybrid produces the same 232 horsepower and 271 pound-feet as the Sportage. Fuel economy is approximately 38 to 39 miles per gallon combined. The same 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty applies with the same lifetime battery coverage for the original owner. But the Tucson's interior is where Hyundai truly separates itself. Dual 12.3-inch curved screens wrap across the dashboard, soft touch materials on every surface your hand contacts, available ambient lighting, Harman Kardon premium audio, heated and ventilated seats across the lineup. For a vehicle starting at $33,000, the interior experience is closer to a $45,000 luxury SUV than a mainstream compact. In the shop, the Tucson Hybrid follows the same pattern as the Sportage. Oil changes, tire rotations, routine services, the turbo demands discipline, the premium fuel adds cost. But the mechanical failures, I am not seeing them, not at the rate I see them on the vehicles I warned you about. The weaknesses are the same as the Sportage. Premium fuel is recommended. Resale value trails Toyota. The turbo requires strict oil discipline, and the brand's J.D. Power dependability scores still trail the Japanese leaders. But the thermal management advantage, the interior quality, and the identical warranty coverage push the Tucson 1 spot above its corporate sibling. If you value technology and interior experience alongside mechanical durability, the Tucson Hybrid at number 4 earns its place.
Number 3. The Subaru Forester Hybrid 2026, and this is the vehicle that breaks the rules of this list in the best possible way. Because it combines the 2 most proven reliability technologies in the automotive industry into one vehicle that no other manufacturer can replicate. The Forester Hybrid 2026 uses Toyota-sourced hybrid technology, the same planetary gear architecture that Toyota has been refining for 28 years across millions of vehicles is now inside the Forester. But unlike the Toyota RAV4, the Forester wraps that hybrid system in Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive. And the difference in all-weather capability is not subtle, it is fundamental. Toyota's RAV4 Hybrid uses an electric motor on the rear axle with no mechanical connection to the front wheels. The system is reactive. It waits for the front wheels to slip, then sends power to the rear.
There is always a delay. The Subaru Forester uses a mechanical center differential that keeps all four wheels connected to the drivetrain at all times. Power is distributed constantly. There is no delay, no waiting for sensors. The grip is there before you need it, not after. In the shop, Subaru Foresters are remarkably trouble-free on the current platform. The old 2.5-litre head gasket issues that plagued models from 2000 to 2012 are a different engine entirely. The current Forester's engine, now paired with Toyota's hybrid technology, represents the most reliable powertrain Subaru has ever offered. Subaru was ranked the #1 most reliable brand by Consumer Reports in 2024, dethroning Toyota. In 2026, they dropped to second, but the Crosstrek ranked as the third most reliable vehicle overall, and the Forester earned the IHS Top Safety Pick Plus for the 10th time, the highest safety designation in America, more times than any other vehicle in its class. The outward visibility is the best of any compact SUV. Tall windows, thin roof pillars. You can see what is around you without craning your neck. In snow, fog, or heavy rain, this visibility is not a comfort feature. It is a safety feature that could save your life. The weaknesses: fuel economy is approximately 33 to 35 miles per gallon combined, behind the RAV4 and CR-V hybrids. The interior is functional but does not match the technology or materials of Hyundai or Honda. The 6-speed automatic does not have the electric smoothness of Honda's 2-motor system, or the seamless blending of Toyota's eCVT. Starting at approximately $36,500 for the hybrid. For the buyer who lives in genuine winter conditions, who drives mountain roads, who needs all-weather capability that works mechanically rather than electronically, the Subaru Forester Hybrid 2026 is the only vehicle on this list that combines Toyota's proven hybrid reliability with a real all-wheel drive system. And that combination is why it earns the #3 spot on a mechanic's secret list.
Number 2. The Honda CR-V Hybrid 2026. And this vehicle earns its spot for a reason that separates it from everything else on the market. It has no transmission. None. Zero. The component that fails most often in hybrid SUVs, the component that generates the most expensive repair bills, the component that kills vehicles at 80,000 miles, Honda eliminated it entirely. Let me explain what is happening inside this vehicle, because it is genuinely different from anything else you can buy. When you are driving the CR-V Hybrid in the city, the gasoline engine is not connected to the wheels. It is acting purely as a generator, producing electricity that feeds 2 electric motors. The larger traction motor sends 247 pound-feet of torque directly to the wheels. There are no gears between the motor and the wheels, no CVT belt, no planetary gear set, no clutch packs, no torque converter. Direct drive. The motor spins, the wheels turn.
That is it. It is only at highway speeds, above 50 miles per hour, that a single lock-up clutch engages, and the engine drives the wheels directly. Even then, the system blends electric and gas power seamlessly, with simulated gear changes programmed into the software to give the driver a natural sensation. From a mechanic's perspective, the elegance of this system is in what it does not have. No transmission means no transmission fluid to change, no transmission computer to fail, no torque converter to lock up, no clutch packs to overheat, no CVT belt to wear. The single most expensive and most frequently failing component in a hybrid SUV simply does not exist in the CR-V Hybrid. That is not a feature. That is a fundamental reduction in mechanical risk. The CR-V Hybrid produces 204 horsepower. EPA fuel economy is 43 city and 36 highway for front-wheel drive. Consumer Reports measured 35 miles per gallon overall in independent testing. That city number of 43 is where Honda dominates because the 2-motor system recaptures energy with extraordinary efficiency every time you decelerate. In the shop, CR-V hybrids come in for oil changes, brake pads, and tire rotations. The brakes last longer than conventional vehicles because regenerative braking does most of the stopping work. The engine is under less stress because the electric motors handle the hardest driving conditions. And the absence of a transmission removes the single most common and most expensive repair category from the ownership equation entirely. But I have to be completely honest about the weaknesses because credibility matters more than hype. The direct injection system has a documented pattern of carbon buildup on the intake valves. Budget for a cleaning service at 65,000 miles, $500 to $1,000. The spare tire is missing on many trims. Check before you buy. Highway fuel economy drops to 34 miles per gallon, because the 2-motor city advantage disappears above 50 miles per hour, and resale value trails Toyota by 5 to 8 percentage points at the 3-year mark, starting at $32,315. Cargo space is best in class at over 36 cubic feet behind the rear seats. Rear legroom is the most generous of the 5. Honda sensing safety tech with blind spot monitoring, is standard on all 2026 hybrid trims. The Honda CR-V Hybrid 2026 earns the number 2 spot because it solved the hybrid reliability problem in the most radical way possible. It removed the part that breaks, and in a world where other manufacturers are adding complexity, turbochargers, dual clutches, variable compression mechanisms, Honda went the opposite direction. Simpler, fewer parts, less to fail. That is the kind of engineering a mechanic respects.
And number 1, the hybrid SUV that, after 22 years of turning wrenches on every brand in every condition, I would buy with my own money before anything else on this list. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026. I am going to tell you something that Toyota will never say in an advertisement because it sounds too good to be true. But it is not marketing, it is mechanical reality. The transmission inside the RAV4 Hybrid has no wear items. Let me explain what that means in language that every buyer should understand. A conventional automatic transmission has clutch packs that wear, bands that stretch, seals that degrade, fluid that breaks down. A CVT has a belt that wears against pulleys. A dual clutch has 2 friction plates that degrade with every shift. Every transmission design in the automotive industry has components that are designed to eventually fail because they are friction-based systems. Friction creates heat. Heat creates wear.
Wear creates failure. Toyota's planetary gear eCVT has none of this. It is a set of 3 interlocking gears, the sun, the planets, and the ring, with 2 electric motors integrated into the gear set. There are no friction elements, no belts, no clutch packs, no bands, no hydraulic valves. The gears mesh permanently. They do not engage and disengage. They spin in mathematical relationship to each other, blending gas and electric power seamlessly, with the computer making decisions every millisecond. This system has been running since 1997, 28 years, across millions of vehicles, in New York City taxicabs, in Arizona rental fleets, in Japanese commercial vehicles that run 20 hours a day. And in 28 years, the planetary gear set has not generated a pattern of transmission failures, not once. There is no recall for this component. There is no technical service bulletin for premature wear. There is no class action lawsuit. The system simply works, year after year, decade after decade, vehicle after vehicle. The 2026 RAV4 was completely redesigned. Every model is now a hybrid. 226 horsepower in front-wheel drive, 236 in all-wheel drive. Toyota's 5th-generation hybrid system pushes EPA estimates to 48 city and 42 highway for front-wheel drive. Consumer Reports' May 2026 first drive confirmed significant improvements in refinement and comfort over the outgoing model. Real-world owners of prior generations reported 37 to 39 miles per gallon. The 2026 should be even better. Toyota Safety Sense 4.0 is standard on every trim, the most advanced safety suite Toyota has ever offered. The 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster and available 12.9-inch touchscreen with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto represent a genuine leap in Toyota's infotainment. And the climate controls still use physical knobs and buttons, which means you can adjust the temperature without taking your eyes off the road. Annual maintenance averages approximately $400. Kelley Blue Book named Toyota the best resale value brand for the 6th consecutive year. The RAV4 retains over 53% of its value after 5 years. iSeeCar's data from a study of 174 million vehicles shows Toyota has a 17.8% chance of reaching 250,000 miles, nearly 4 times the industry average. Total cost of ownership works out to approximately 11 cents per mile. The weaknesses: the engine drones under hard acceleration, the rubber band effect, where the engine holds a fixed RPM while the car accelerates, bothers some owners every single day. The interior on base trims feels a generation behind Honda and Hyundai. The infotainment, while improved, still does not match the polish of the competition. These are real criticisms, and I will not pretend they do not exist. But when you ask a mechanic with 22 years of experience which hybrid SUV will never break down, the answer is the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Not because it is the most exciting, not because it has the best screens, not because it drives the smoothest in city traffic, but because the transmission has no wear items, the engine operates below its stress limits, the hybrid system has been refined across 28 years and millions of vehicles, and the total ownership math beats everything in the segment by thousands of dollars, starting at $31,900. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026 is not the price of luxury. It is the price of engineering that was designed to last, and lasting is the single most valuable thing any vehicle can do.
So there it is, a mechanic's secret list. 5 hybrid SUVs that will never break down. Not because they are magical, because they avoid the 3 failure patterns that kill everything else on the road. No downsized turbocharged engines running at their limits, proven transmissions instead of borrowed sports car gearboxes, and refined platforms instead of first-year experiments. At number 5, the Kia Sportage Hybrid. A turbo that demands discipline but is backed by a 10-year warranty that absorbs the risk. At number 4, the Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. The same proven formula with superior battery thermal management and the best interior in its price range. At number 3, the Subaru Forester Hybrid. Toyota's hybrid technology married to the best mechanical all-wheel drive system in the world. At number 2, the Honda CR-V Hybrid.
The vehicle that eliminated the transmission entirely and removed the single most common failure point from the ownership equation. And at number 1, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. A planetary gear system with zero wear items that has been running for 28 years across millions of vehicles without generating a single pattern of transmission failure. The common thread is simplicity. Honda removed the transmission. Toyota perfected a gear set with no friction elements. Subaru used Toyota's proven technology instead of inventing their own. And Kia and Hyundai backed their complexity with the strongest warranty in the industry. Simple beats complex, proven beats new. And engineering discipline beats marketing ambition. Every single time. Now I need something from you. If you own any of these 5 vehicles with high mileage, I want to hear your story. Drop your model, your mileage, the single biggest repair you have experienced, and the one piece of maintenance advice you would give to a new owner. That real-world data is more valuable than anything I can tell you from the shop. And the next video is going to be built entirely on your ownership experiences. I am also investigating something that could add a 6th vehicle to this list by 2027. Honda just announced a next-generation hybrid system with 30% lower production costs and 10% better fuel economy. If those numbers hold in production, the gap between Honda and Toyota on hybrid reliability could close within 24 months. I am tracking the engineering data in real time, and what I am finding does not match what the press releases are saying. Subscribe so you do not miss that video. I will see you in the next one.